Yeah, welcome everybody. I just want to say welcome to this second full moon of the year. And some of you are on the previous one. And everybody who receives the recording afterwards, we're going to be building this year of 13 moons. My name is Sally Griffin, aka Millionaire Yogi, and I help visionaries become world-changing leaders. No, I was going to say world-changing. Oh, God, how funny. I've completely forgot what I do. Anyway, I work with visionaries and I help them become world-changing influencers. And a lot of the work behind the scenes of what I do, hey, Alora, is very much to do with this kind of rhythm that I put myself through. So I'm always in tune with the moon. Somebody was telling me yesterday that, what's my relationship to time? And I said, well, it's an interesting one. I never wear a watch. I always know where the moon is. I always know where the sun is. Pretty much never late. That's my relationship to time. But much of it is to do with this lunar rhythms that I'm in and being aware of it and celebrating and doing personal rituals and doing many more things now with groups. So it's much more of a channeled experience. Before I come on these, I've already tapped in, so I've already made the connection. So I'm speaking, and at times, I don't know if any of you are on the first one, but of the year, but that lunar meditation, I never know where we're going with them. And I felt like I was in outer space for the next few hours. It really affected me. So let's see what comes of this one. The topic this night is the moon in Leo. So we're really looking at the qualities of leadership. And according to Leo, it's leadership with yourself that has to do with a celebration of self at the highest level. So it's not just simply leadership like, driving forward like the head of an army, which is one way of looking at it. But I would love to just say hello to all of you and hear what you have to say about what do you admire in yourself? What are the things that you would admire in yourself? This is an area that a lot of people don't always connect with, what they admire about themselves. And just to say hello, Christine from Italy. Amazing. Where are you in Italy? And also,
hi, can you hear me?
Where are you?
Yes. A small place called San Ginesio. It's a medieval village in the Macerata zone, on the Adriatic side.
Oh, beautiful. So we've got Italy. Does anyone else want to say where you are as well? Be great to hear who's tapping in right at this moment. And Kelly, you're saying flexible, go-getter, intuitive connector from Tuscan. I know you, Kelly Wolf. You're just hiding. I can't see you. But sometimes it's too early for people, so they're all wearing their, dressing gowns.
Good morning, Sally.
Hey, and I can't see you. I know that voice.
Yeah, you're not seeing me because I'm in the bath. It's early. I'm multitasking. So I'm in California and it's 8 a.m. And say the question again. What do you admire in yourself?
What do you admire about yourself?
Well, I realized, I just started a business from a suggestion. So I started a business in 3.5 weeks. We had our first event yesterday that went beyond my expectations. So I'm seeing that I really am a manifester. So I admire that about myself, and that, once I decide to do something, I do it and follow it through. And also I feel that I'm a very kind person. Maybe you would reflect. I don't know. You've known me longer than most people. Yeah.
30 years, I think. How long? I don't know. Long time.
35. A long time. So yeah. So that's some thoughts that I admire about myself.
That gives our age away. So we're 35, right?
Yeah. 35.
Hilarious. Yes, I would absolutely agree that you're a very kind person and that you have a real businessy mind, that you've always got ideas off the ground. Sure. So I can definitely say that about you, amongst a list of wonderful things as well. But it's about acknowledging ourselves. You know, so I'd like to hear what you guys feel about yourself. Let's get into the mutual admiration mode. So we're, you know, permission to admire yourself and say what you feel that you're really good at or what you love about yourself. So Sue says that she admires the quality of perseverance, caring, and curiosity in herself. Christine admires herself, the service work she does for others. Kelly, darling, she's just so appreciative of me and my sharing of my gifts. But what about you? Never mind about me. This is all about you.
No, I had put up there flexible, go-getter, intuitive, connector.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Passionate. Yes. Love helping others.
And I would agree with that, Miss Magnificent over there. So let's get a few more. You know, speak up. Tell me what you admire about yourself.
Hi from Atlanta.
Sylvia.
Sylvia, yes. It's snowing in Atlanta today.
Wow.
It's a snow full moon and we have snow. What I like, I'm very patient and I can solution where other people give up.
Perfect. Yeah. And it's interesting that you said I like, and I think admire is slightly different than like.
Yep.
I think it's a bit bigger. There's admiration has got this, you know, when I think of people I admire, it's very different than people who I like. So could you say a bit more about that?
Yeah, I think it comes from my German background because love, or, you know, love and like, they have two different meanings. You know, it's a stronger, and admiration has the same thing. So sometimes certain words tell me different messages. Because if I read, words give me messages, you know, and it has a different meaning in different languages.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm very careful with using words.
Yeah, no, I understand that. And you're speaking not your first language. So
yes, exactly.
Yeah, no, I get it.
And so, and for me it's, but I love to find, actually I like
Admire.
Admire. No, I'm passionate about finding solution. It's my passion.
Great.
A compassion, you know, it's I really like the challenge sometimes, or love the challenge.
Right.
To find a solution.
See how Sylvia lights up when she gets into that level of it.
Yeah. I'm holding. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I can. Yeah, but sometimes I'm holding back. But I'm patiently, you know, I'm a guiding from, you know, not in the front rows usually.
Yeah, well, I talked about that the other day, about how leadership can be from behind. Actually.
Yeah, we're from behind. Yes,
you know.
Exactly. So I'm just there. I like leading, just to be present, you know, give room for stuff to develop.
For that, we don't need everybody always in front, right? Anybody else? Would you like to say what you admire about yourself? Come on, I know there's some others in there. I know there are. Be brave. Let's get it out. You know, when do you get a chance to say this? Come on, Jimena. What do you admire about yourself?
I admire very much my determination and my discipline to do what my soul, to fulfill my life purpose with joy. and with abundance and prosperity and peace.
Amazing. Yeah.
Mhm.
And when you think about Leo, the thing about Leo is it is a sign of audaciousness. So I hope everybody understands that from different cultures, what the word audacious is. It's big. Leo, in fact, is the opposite of Aquarius. I'm very Aquarian, and we've stepped into the Aquarian age. And one of the things that I've always noticed, because I'm very attracted to my opposite, which is Leo, is that Leos are great leaders. And they can be the full package of the drama queens. They can be actors. They can be on stage. They can do all of that. And I love all of that. And I feel myself around Leo sometimes feeling like my passion is more about getting the thing done or the shift to happen than getting the acknowledgement. But Leos have to have acknowledgement. They have to. So it doesn't work if you're working with a Leo energy to just get the shift happening. They need to be acknowledged. They're big lions. They need their mane stroked. They need their ego stroked. They need to be told they're amazing. And that's part of it. And so when we're dealing with Leo energy, it's not just about getting the thing done. It's about absolutely acknowledging yourself in the process of it as well. Like, you know, literally writing a list of things that you find amazing about yourself. And that will be part of the work of this cycle that we're going through, is to take credit and to give credit and to be that liberal with acknowledgement and, you know, stroking the egos of others, because we need it. In Britain, we're very, we have this kind of way of being quite humble. It's like the high note of Britain is being polite and humble, right? And so we don't always explode into, oh my God, you're amazing. It's more like a sort of well-crafted thank you. And that's not Leo style. You know, Leo wants it all. They want the grapes dripped from, you know, some adoring fan. They want, you know, to be on the big screen. They want to, they actually have got the star quality going on. So it's not just about being the creator, which is a kind of way of looking at what kind of business person you are, how you operate in the world. They are star quality. So they want to be the star. You know, a classic character for that is Marilyn Monroe. Classic. Has to be the center of attention, but then we all love her for it. It's also that there is that great love. You need people like that you can adore and think that they're completely amazing. And we need to tap into some of that energy ourselves. So I'm just going to read a couple more of these. Joanna, you admire that you always persevere to reach your vision and never let your story stop you from achieving your goals. Yes, I can see that with you. And Isabel, you also admire your dedication to live from your soul's essence, which is amazing. Dedication is something else. When you really have this, you lock into something. There's something about dedication, the sacred pact, which I often talk about, to self and responsibility. So it's not like you come into life just, you know, floating along. It's like you actually, you made a commitment, a promise at a soul level to what you're up to. So as we move into this Leo energy, it really is expansive. And I know that last week, Alora's just said she had a very successful event, but I know also you've had a few wobbles along the way, and that it didn't always look like that, you know, on the journey to the experience of something that you're having. It doesn't always look the way that you experience it at the end, right? There's all those ups and downs. And just saying hello to Patty. Yes, I see you. and lovely to be connecting with you as well. And the thing about Leo that is so great, there are some fantastic examples of Leo energy, and I would say that one would be Joan of Arc. And maybe you don't know a lot about her, but she's classic Leonine energy. So Joan of Arc was only 14 when she started having visions. She was obviously clearly a channeler at that time, and she was a peasant girl. So she was not high up in society and station or whatever, but she became famous for her channeling, having visions and seeing things. And she felt compelled to step forward to help the King of France at that young age, because she felt that she was able to be the mascot, if you like, to lead an army. Now that's wild, because it was medieval times. She was a woman, she was a girl, and yet there was something about her vision was so strong that the King of France, she became famous for her visions. He got to hear about them, so he took her on, and also became captivated by her spell, which there must have been one, because, you know, she then became the leader of his army, and she would lead the troops into battle at the front of all the regiments. This is medieval France, and they were fighting at that time, I think it was the King of Spain. And at a certain point, because of her, she was responsible for so many people coming forward and being part of that, because of the visionary angle of her, of who she was. If you ever see her, she's chopped all her hair off. She didn't look typical. She wore boys' clothing, and she went off to battle, and she won the battles for him, the King of France. And then he made a different deal, right? So he agreed that she was too powerful. So she got called a witch publicly, put in prison, and eventually she was burned on the stake. And that kind of story of, you know, somebody taking on something that was outrageous is like Leo. You know, it's the front of the army. There is no fear. I mean, in that story, because we have all the transcripts of her, it's not like she's a mythological character. We've really got all the court transcripts of her. And the King of France was a dirty dog. You know, he let her down because he couldn't cope with the fact that she was getting more attention than him. So, you know, therein lies another tale. But Leo needs the attention, right? And the thing that would have been right, hello, Jimena's son there, I see you, would be to actually be able to stand behind that energy. So if he had if he had more grace, if you like, to be able to stand behind her and let her do what she was doing, which was changing an energy, then it would have worked. But instead, he was a weak man. The King of France was weak, and so he had to get her out of the way. There are so many examples of these heroic acts of heroism, courage is all connected with Leo. Stepping outside your comfort zone, like making a stand for something that, you know, maybe you have watched for some time, but you don't feel like it's, you know, it's maybe the time for you. Well, when Leo comes into play, it's time. It's like, you know, it's time. So some of those qualities will be things that we want to bring to bear. And I want to do a working with you to give you something with leadership that's going to set you up for a really pivotal shift in your life. You may use that in business. You may just use it in your own life. And just to get back to Alora, yeah, you were feeling a challenge and the self-doubt that comes in all the time. And that's like the story of Joan of Arc was very much like that. There's always this self-doubt, but you've got to go to the higher picture, the higher vision, which was actually, she was connected to source. You know, she was the one who was really having the real downloads of the vision, not the King of France. He was just playing a little political game. So when we tap in at such a high level of what we're really here to do, the courage is extraordinary. Courage for me is nothing to do with, it's not really to do so much with self. I don't know if you relate to that, but if there's some other thing going on where I am deeply moved by it, for instance, I have more courage than anything that I would have about myself. The key piece, so for instance, you know, I'm just trying to think of an example. I am deeply affected by the environment issues right now. And if I can make a difference to people, I will speak about it, right? I would have more courage stepping up on that stage about the environment now than just something that I wanted to get, because I feel it's imperative and therefore it causes courage. Do you relate to that? Like how if you align yourself to something bigger than self, the courage just seems to be there. It's just easier than if it's to do with you. But the difference is with this energy, what we want to do is actually take that kind of sense of as if it was, you know, a cause, but you are the cause. You know, it's like permission to allow yourself to be audacious and to speak up for yourself and to break through some of those barriers and to be able to really like go for it. Why? Because I freaking admire myself. You know, I admire myself. I'm amazing. There is only one of me. And you're all saying the same thing, right? In your own way. So that's the energy we want to do. For lots of you, I'm sure you'd find it easy if it was, you know, your child was, you know, somehow in danger, or in Sylvia's case, your grandchildren, or all the babies of the world, you'd step forward, right? Just like this. But if it was you, you know, wanting to receive acknowledgement, and that you would be you'd be more hesitant. You would be less likely to step up. And we want to switch that today. We want to actually get into the true ancient form of leadership, which is we are all kings and queens. And that's by right of the land. You're representatives of the various tribes of the world. And we need you. So you can't act small anymore. There is no place for small with Leo at all. It's the bigger, the better, the more dramatic. And I know some of you are very much introverts. So it's not like, you know, you need to cause a great stir publicly or something like that. But it's a permission to really step forward into something. And there must be something that everybody wants to step into right now. Maybe we could ask that question before we do the working. What is it that if you had courage, for instance, just dropped into you, what would it be that you would be able to move forward into? You know, what would courage make available for you? I'm just looking at Dana. Love, empowering leadership. Courage versus bravery. We are courageous for ourselves and brave for others. Oh, great. I like that distinction a lot. Yes. Speaking on stages. Fabulous, Kelly. Yeah. You know, speaking on stages apparently is the biggest fear. It's a fear worse than death. So death is second in the you know, the list of horrors that we might endure. But speaking on stages public speaking is one of the biggest fears that people ever experience. Acknowledging you're a healer and putting out your work to heal trauma, fantastic. So like we're admiring you and acknowledging you today for being a healer, for healing trauma, like that. And Patty, continuing to take a stand for your vision. So what is your vision? What are you making a stand for? Like, be that accurate with it. You know, what are you expanding into?
Hi, Sally.
Oh, hello.
Are you asking me?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Good morning. I'm just waking up. Everything you said about Leos, I'm coming out from under my rock, and realizing that my vision for people and my connection to humanity and taking a stand for their greatness is what I'm actually doing myself right now. And as I continue doing that and developing more content and more programs, that I'm actually being in permission for everyone to do it in their own lives.
That's so true. I think that, you know, people often think this is the distinction, ooh, excuse me, distinction between influence and leadership is that leaders, you have to see them at some level. You have to. They've got to be visible. But influencers, not necessarily so. Influencers are, they know they must act because they are part of a movement. They might be disruptors. That doesn't mean disruptive. It means they're tweaking a system, making it better for everybody. But the thing about that is there comes a time when you cannot not do it. One will look much more dramatic than the other, perhaps. But in any way that you can step forward, you're doing it for the whole of everybody, for the whole of the planet. And, you know, even the topics that I delve into, there was a time I was much more, I was always very outspoken about it in private, but I didn't necessarily want the public eye on me talking about, you know, the spiritual and the business and channeling. Even that was a big one for me, to even acknowledge it and to say it and to, you know, say that's what I'm doing. But I have to, you know, because otherwise it wouldn't really make any sense if I was trying to pretend that this is just normal business coaching, right? There would be a question for people. They need the authentic me, and authenticity is linked to courage. If you can just have the courage to be authentic, that's an influence there, because you don't have to maybe be on a stage saying it, but you have to be authentically you. Do you relate to that, Patty?
I do. I just, the truth of it is, you know, I do love being on stage and I love being in front of people. And the thing that I'm communicating more than ever, we're like these caged animals if we don't actually follow our true calling and do the things that get us super excited. And even when I'm super excited, it doesn't mean that I'm not scared.
Yeah.
So as I'm stepping forth, and you know, the project that I've been developing and running, and as I step forth and continue doing this work and being heard and being seen, it's super scary, but it's also, and I can't actually stop myself from doing it. It's just truly just calling me forth. So
I'm going to just tell you something, that when you talk about what you're doing, then tell us what you're doing. Like, it's like that, so we can admire you.
And that's part of my growth right now is, yeah, I'm always worried about stepping on people's toes or too much about myself, because I've always been told, you know, I'm too much, or, you know, I'm taking the spotlight from somebody else. So what I've done is I've 3 months ago decided to allow myself to be seen as, and I thought 20 years as an actress, that's what I was doing, but I decided that it was time that I really wasn't hiding. And I collected experts and I created a show, and Sally, you're on my show, and I started sharing advice from experts and what it is that they do to bring their heart through the lens and into the heart of their audience through video content, and starting really to dig into what it is that moves me as a human to walk the earth, the work that I do with my clients. And once people realize that, once they realize the depth of their values and their personal mythology, they can't help but be in action in their lives. So that's what I'm doing.
Thank you. And
Thank you.
That's the level of authenticity that, you know, I feel that if we are able, I sit in circles quite often because I do a lot of ritual, and that's cat hair.
Oh.
The love of my cat Pandora. When we sit in circles, we can see each other very clearly. And in some of the women's circles that I've been in, you know, there is that talking stick thing that you pass around so that everybody has their say. But it's amazing to actually express the level of admiration that we have for each other. It's like we all get to be big cats. We all get to have that experience. It's not just some who are more perhaps comfortable with that role, right? And us on this group, this is exactly the same. So even if you're tuning in afterwards, you get to be big cats today, especially under Leo. Rawr. You know, come on. It's not about playing small. And you start to look at where your life is, like where are you playing small? And if I asked you that question, you probably know immediately, right? So that's the conversation that we get to have today, is to look in the areas where we really want to cause a difference and we really want to cause a shift. And, you know, some of it will be deeply personal. Some of it will be on a global level. It's all good. It's all good. And I want everybody to feel that they have that level of empowerment and to step into it. So in a moment, I'm going to start doing the meditation. So it would be a good time perhaps for those who need to go to the bathroom to go and do that. I'm just going to stay on because I don't need to go. So if you do, please go. And anybody else who wants to just carry on talking about this level, like, let's talk about the opposite of that. So where are you hiding? What's the, yeah, Dana, we are all here. We're part of the big shift of humanity. If you know, somebody said once to me, if everybody was acknowledged, like valued, acknowledged, can you imagine there being any wars or anything? That, you know, like so much of that play is about, I'm better than you, you know, I'm going to exert my big power over you so that I feel better about myself. And I often think like those people who I really truly think are just like the jerks of the universe, they probably had some, you know, abusive father or somebody who was just like making them feel terrible when they were kids. And so guess what they get to be? Like monumental, you know, idiots when they grow up, wielding power very badly. But if you acknowledge everybody, everybody gets the acknowledgement. It's such a massive, massive healing experience to be acknowledged. And so this today is part of that. It's the acknowledgement of all of you who are here, all of you who will be joining us later afterwards. It's still that feeling of you're all really important. So Joanna, you're hiding in the business of busyness. Yes, in busyness. So when you hide by being busy, stillness would take you to a place probably where you might make different decisions. You know, busy people are always hiding. I know somebody who's currently, you know, quite ill with cancer, and I'm just waiting for him to stop, because all he's doing is being busy. It's busy, 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 because if he stopped, it would be like, oh my God, that's when something can shift. But I've just watched him deal with stage 4 cancer for months, and you don't see any difference. The behavior is the same day in, day out. And he has not taken one still moment for himself to experience something different. So I know that's not why you're busy, but I'm just saying busyness can hide so much, you know, really not letting in the healing or even the grief. So yes, start to think where you might be hiding. It's a great question. You know, usually you can feel it immediately. You know, you ask the question and then there's usually a physical moment of like, oh, it's that bit that I don't shine out. I don't, you know, there's no permission to do so. And there'll be a list of things. It'll be like, you know, you can't shine in money because your family told you it's ugly to talk about money. That's very English. Like, don't talk about money. Oh, let's not mention it. Let's not mention sexuality. You know, that's another big hot topic, sexuality. let's not mention, what's a controversial one? I think women who are single, who are having great lives, let's not mention that. There's always like there's something wrong. So Dana is saying you put layer after layer until you couldn't stand who you became. You've broken your social chains and you're free to be you. Exactly. And that's what we want to get into. Like, who are you? Really, 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 at the level of almost like the frequency level of who are you? You know, what did you come here to do? And when you get to that level, unapologetically, wow, you should see the shifts and how fast you can make them. It is like watching people metamorphosize in front of me when I start doing work like that with them. Sue, you're seeking to connect with who is Sue. Yeah. And you think, what a crazy question. Like, you know, we would never ask a child that, like, who are you? Because children are just, you know who they are. They're just like, I am this, I want that. I play this big. It's as adults when we've been squashed often that the moment of being able to ask who we really are, it's quite late in life. It's not like as a 7-year-old you're asking who you really are, you know. It's much later that we start to say, this is who I really am. And then the final piece is giving permission to self. And sometimes you need to be given permission by somebody else to go there, you know. So if you're all ready, Ligia, it's really nice to see you. And I don't know if I'm saying your name right. It might be Ligia, or it might be Ligia. But we have connected a little bit on Facebook. And I hope your husband is very well after that accident that he had.
He is, thank you.
And how do I say your name?
Ligia.
Ligia.
Ligia. The G is like an H. So L-E-H-E-A-H would be phonetically.
Ligia. Okay.
Ligia.
Where's it? Ligia. Ligia. And where's that
There
from?
you go. Ligia.
I'm trying. And where's
I've only found it in the Greek dictionary, and it means melody.
Oh, lovely. Okay. Well, I'll try and, you know, I do try the correct pronunciation, but as Jimena knows, I was calling her all sorts of things. That X at the front is like, don't know what to do with it, but finally I've nailed it.
Wonderful.
So if everybody is ready, then let's start the working. So I want you to just sit back, shut your eyes, and allow yourself to immediately relax. Take a deep breath in through the nose and exhale through your mouth. And another one of those deep breaths in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. And start to feel your body becoming soft, heart is slowing down, nowhere to go, nothing to do. And again, deep breath in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. And then continue, but this time starting to breathe in through every cell in your body. So drawing in fresh, clear energy into every cell of your body. And as you exhale, breathing out anything that feels stuck, tired, disappointment, let it go. And as you're breathing in clear, fresh energy of this snow moon. And as you exhale, allow anything that has doubt, illness, fatigue to leave your body. Starting to do body scan now, so breathing in. And notice where you might not be breathing in. And then exhale, letting go of fear, anything to do with disappointment, resentment, anger. Deep breath into every cell of your body. Notice places which aren't lighting up as you breathe in. And exhale, releasing and letting it go, becoming like a jelly as you're sitting wherever you are. No need to open your eyes, you just keep your eyes shut and listen to my voice. And you find yourself in this beautiful forest. And it's the kind of forest which has exactly the kind of trees that you love. So for some it may be pines. It may be all the northern kinds of trees. And for others, it may be beautiful oaks and beeches, copper beeches. But align yourself with the ones that you really like. It might be cherries. So you're being guided by the kind of forest that you really, truly love. And you find yourself in the center of this place. And as you continue to breathe, with every cell of your body, you're feeling that life force accelerate in each of your cells. You're feeling that nature itself is enveloping you and encompassing you and feeling like you are one with the trees. These ancient beings who have been there since time began. And feeling just the way that when things come up, storms come and go, they just bend and move. They are the articulation of exactly what has happened to them, the weather systems. Some of them you see are completely bent in one direction because the wind always blows in that direction. And you feel this great amount of love with these beautiful trees. And you go to one that you really, really feel connected to, and you lean your back against the trunk of this tree, gathering all the energy, feeling what it's like to be in connection with an ancient wood being who stood through time, who's gone through all sorts of historical time periods as a witness. And you feel the strength of what it's like purely to be the witness. Breathing in through the back of the body now, feeling this strong sap going up in the trunk of the tree, and feeling that with this energy, you're starting to feel that all your energy is moving upwards. And you thank this beautiful tree for supporting you and helping you on your journey. And before your feet, you see this pathway opening in the ground. It's as if the leaves are just parting the ways, and you're starting to see that there is an ancient trackway that you're invited to go on. With every step of your bare foot on this beautiful ancient pathway, you feel the smoothness of thousands of people who have walked before you. And as you glance over your left shoulder, you notice that as you step forward, there are flowers growing up in every footprint that you take. So as you walk forward, there's a growth happening right where you've been. And you continue walking. And presently you come to this wonderful ancient temple. It has white marble, and it's got pinnacles and towers all over it, as if the entire structure is moving upwards, just like the sap that is now moving all of your cells upward, so that everything is rising up. As you walk into this temple, you feel that it is a temple that represents this very upward current. And you see a staircase in the center, and it's the most beautiful ancient staircase of marble. You place your foot on the first stair, and you realize that you are going to be going up by 10 levels. And it feels familiar, and you count the steps as you walk up this beautiful warm marble spiral staircase, going around, and with every step your frequency of the cells increases. You feel that you are not grounded to the earth. Instead, you feel this upward rising motion of energy within you. And the frequency in your cells is increasing, as if there's this little tingle or buzz. You're moving up onto the third step, and you already feel lighter. Your breath is natural, and it's moving into every cell of your body. As you continue, you're up on the sixth step, and you feel this tremendous love, this unconditional love happening. You feel it within every cell of your body for yourself, and you feel an outpouring of it to the whole of humanity. You continue moving up through the seventh and eighth, and at this point you feel that you are no longer a physical being. You feel that you have shed your physical reality, and now you are just a cluster of energy that is joined together by frequency. As you move to the ninth, you feel something really magical happening. This is when the authentic level of self takes over every cell. There is no possibility of lying at this point. You are who you are. You truly are who you are. And as you take the 10th step and you step up into this upper kingdom, you realize now this is the realm of kings and queens. As you glide forward into this space, you see at the center there is an altar, and that beside it there's a very, very ancient chair. You're invited by a guardian of this place to come and sit in the chair. And in front of you, you see that there is something on the altar. As you sit back in this chair, you feel that you have been with 1,000 previous people in this place. There's something so familiar. And the guardian asks you, who are you? Who are you at the level of frequency? And what are you here to lead? As you look to the altar, you realize that there is this crown waiting to be placed on your head. At first, it looks like a very ancient series of crystals all woven together with light flashing in different directions. But you also realize that it has an energy about it. It is held together by an energetic field. As you come into connection with who you really are and what you are here to lead, the guardian places it on your head. And you feel that there is this alchemical shift. You are now tuning in with the resonance of leadership and of kings and queens. And having the power now to actually alter other frequencies. So the guardian asks you, what are the 3 most important areas that you want to cause a shift in now? Allow yourself to experience that as an energetic. What are the 3 areas in your life that you most want to cause a shift in? It may be that you want to see something shift in the world itself. It may be a global shift that you want. Ask yourself if there's anything global that you are here to help do, and allow yourself to receive this at the highest vibration into every cell of your body. As you continue to breathe, start to become aware of the second area that you want to cause a shift in. This could be something like a relationship. It could be how you relate to others. it could be causing a relationship. If there's a space for one to happen, allow yourself to just observe. If this is an area that you have kept yourself small in, and observe that if you are being true to self, then there is an authentic frequency that starts to alter in every cell of your body. For those who want a relationship, allow yourself to feel that frequency of partnership, as if the partner is with you. For those who feel that they may be mismatched in the partnership they are in, feel the power of being truly happy, doing what you're doing just as self. If there are disruptions in energy centers around family, feel what it would be like if they are just whole and complete. On an energetic level, allow that to alter. Third area is an area that may involve anything to do with old shame, old trauma. It's already past, but there are trace elements of this area that you don't allow yourself to shine in. Allow yourself to ask that question. Is there an area that I have felt is not shiny, is a little bit dull, and might be affected by the qualities of shame or trauma? Is there anything that I feel dirty or tarnished with? And then allow the frequency from this crown to shift into those areas and breathe into those areas and feel what it's like to have deep healing pouring through you. The past is trickling out of you, and you're feeling now the tingle of just the present moment, acknowledging that you are completely healed in this moment. As these frequencies work and alter the very essence of who you are, you feel your spine buzzing all the way from the base to the crown, and you witness it like it's a single line, a silver line going all the way up through the spine. And as it does so, it draws energy all the way up, up, up. And like a fountain, it's coming out the top of the crown chakra into this crown that you're wearing, this energetic crown. The guardian asks you to stand up now. And you realize that you are in a place with other helpers and beings. There is a table set for all the people that you look to for the strongest level of influence and leadership. The guardian places a beautiful cloak around you. Observe the color of the cloak as you are encompassed in this beautiful frequency and color, which is healing you at such a deep level. And you see this table and start to look around and see who are the people who influence you at a very deep level. This is the council that you have brought together of beings from past, present, and future to guide and advise you. They will always be your helpers. The frequency is that you are there to cause a difference, not only in your life, but many others, and for some of you globally. Take your seat at the head of this table. And start to look around the faces of these many wise people, many from different cultures to your own, some much older, some much younger, and some who are no longer in their bodies, great guides and wisdom keepers. And ask them whatever it is that you want to ask. Ask what it is that keeps you small and hidden. Ask these guides and helpers the questions that you would not ask in normal life. And allow yourself to hear the answers. Deep breathing into every cell of your body causes a fluctuation of the frequencies which are changing and altering the cells, changing and altering the old areas that need healing. And you are given some incredible advice by your counsel. And take note that they will always be in this place for you, to come and get advice when you need it. As you look down to the end of the table, you see that it is not just one seat, but there are two. And they are taken by the king and queen of the upper dimension. These guides are at the highest frequency. They are divine masculine and divine feminine archetypes. They represent the ultimate balance of power and leadership. And as they smile and look at you with such compassion and love, they tell you that all you need to do is what you came here for. The Queen gives you a gift. And it's passed all the way down this long table, from one elder guide to the next. The members of the council all imbue it with their energy as they pass it around in a clockwise direction. And the king passes you a scroll on which there is a sentence written which is like a mantra to guide you. He reads it out to you as if you are being bestowed with this energetic mantra. You feel the confidence and the authority to step into this level of leadership in your own life, bestowed by the highest level. And again, this scroll is passed clockwise so that every member of your council imbues it with their energy before passing it back to you. You place the gift from the Queen in your left hand. Feel the weight of it and feel the energy of this. She's given this to help you lead and be at the strongest level of your influence in doing what you need to do. And the King's Scroll you hold in your right hand. And you feel this ancient tradition of being imbued with gifts and with authority. And breathing into your heart. They guide you to feel courage in every part of your heart. As you do so, you feel an electric current going straight into the center of your heart. And as if a light explosion happens, your influence, your capacity to exchange energy with the universe increases on a dramatic level. You feel it like it's a shock wave of light into infinity in all directions, followed by a rippling of a substance which feels like deep flowing water moving in all directions, 360 degrees, and above and below. This now sets you up for your true king or queenship. And the guardian tells you at this point, you no longer need the crown. So the crown is taken from your head, and instead what you feel is an energetic around the whole of your head. This will stay with you throughout the moon's activity, giving you essence, giving you creative thoughts, giving you access even to other dimensions, a direct access to helpers for you to make this shift that you need to make, to have courage, to feel the love that they have with you. And it's time to let the Council of Elders go now. So you thank them from the bottom of your heart. You thank them so much. You feel the gratitude and this incredible sense of generosity that comes from them, just wanting you to expand into who you truly are. As you stand up from the table, you walk back to the top of the stairs on the 10th level, and the guardian embraces you and sends you so much love and light and bids you goodbye. And you walk down barefoot from the 10th to the 9th, to the 8th, to the 7th, to the 6th, to the 5th stair, to the 4th, to the 3rd, to the 2nd, and to the 1st. And you step off the spiral staircase and find yourself back in the temple where you started this journey. You leave your cloak hanging on a hook, and then you walk back out through the entrance. As you go back down the hill towards this beautiful wood that you've come from, you look up in the sky and you see this incredibly bright, beautiful full moon, the snow moon, and you feel the light from the moon is energetically connected to this whole halo effect crown that is still with you, allowing you to spend 3 days activating these gifts. You have the King's Scroll and you have the Queen's gift with you. And you go all the way back to your favorite tree in this beautiful wooded area and sit at the base of the tree. And allow yourself to ground your spine up against this beautiful ancient friend, breathing into every cell of your body. Take a deep breath in through the nose and exhale. And then start rubbing your hands together. And placing your hands palms over your closed eyes. Breathe in and exhale. And again, rub your hands. Generate heat. Place them over your closed eyes. Breathe in and exhale. And then one more of those. Rub, 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 rub. Place them over your closed eyes. Breathe in and exhale. Then you can rub your hair, your temples, back of the neck. You can rub the front of the throat. And allow yourself to just come into the space. Feeling the energy shift that's taken place. Allowing yourself to feel buzzy, tingly. And then I want you to notice that as we come back into this space, but with this energetic shift, if there was anything that you were feeling small about, I want you to just think of that subject and feel the difference in your energetic now. So for lack of a better example, because we didn't hear all of the areas that you might feel a bit hidden or suppressed or constricted. Let's say, Kelly, if you're still with us, I don't know if you are, but if you were able to now feel what it's like for you to move towards speaking on a stage.
Yes, yes. I can feel it and I can envision it.
Great. And that is just you being authentic.
Love that.
Yeah. And so there's nothing that you have to do. You just have to hit these frequencies of what it is that you're doing.
Love that.
We didn't ground. We did a little, but you should be feeling something that's activated around your head. I feel it very strongly now.
Ground. Yes.
Yeah. And this will cause healing throughout the moon activity for at least 3 days. So whatever we set in motion and the areas that you're willing to go to, there will be an energetic shift that happens, whether you participate or not. It will just be taking place.
Beautiful. Thank you.
And I'd like you to all just think about if there's something that you'd like to do that you were feeling a little bit, I couldn't possibly do that. I want you to actually just say that thing to yourself now, whatever it is. I want you to just feel what it's like with this energy to just do what it is that you're going to do. And that's the energy of courage. Is not something which is like a rushing force of energy all the time. It's just this settled energetic that is like, I'm the one. I'm the one to do that. That's me. I feel the calling. And can you tap into that? Does anyone want to talk about how they feel after this? Go for it, Christine. Just unmute.
Okay, sorry. It's tech stuff. I sometimes struggle with that. It was amazing. Thank you very much. It was just what I got to start off with. I chose a Canadian maple tree. I had a bear immediately with me. I'm just trying to go back, and strange, but the bear was giving me a piece of a salmon, holding a salmon up. So I imagine that was something to do with shedding the scales more so than anything else. That's what. When I went up the stairway, I was already there before you actually started with this, and I work with pyramids, so mine was immediately the white pyramid with the temple effect and the crystals, etc., etc. I couldn't walk up the stairs. I was immediately going floating up. So I was there basically. What the experience I got was I had to get rid of the disappointment. In a nutshell, I was bullied at school and I had a really difficult time letting go of that. And I've been disappointed throughout my life by other people's actions. And I've really struggled to let go of that. So I'm really getting there. I've got the courage now to ignore other people's actions and what they actually say, and the words, they don't mean anything to me anymore. There's no consequence. So that was a big thing for me. The council itself, I did see a lot of different beings from different planets, as well as Aboriginal, the shamanic, the Indian, the native Indian, etc., etc. I can't remember all, to be perfectly honest. I did sort of get the Jesus at the bottom of the table. That really got, because I had a connection with that when I was at John of God, and it was just Jesus's face in front of me, kind of thing. So I had that strong connection anyway. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful experience. And I did feel myself, I know I've been shifting anyway, and it was something you said before, and I did start to write 3 times, and I just could not get this right, so I didn't write it, because it was something that I had actually released. I didn't want to bring it forward again. However, well, I don't know where I was going with that. You'll have to excuse me, because I do get lost with this shifting business. I am shift. Oh yes, I know where I'm at with this. What I was going to say was, you were talking before about people being so busy with their lives. Well, I've gone to the other extreme. I would have said I'd let that laziness streak fall in, but then I haven't. I've actually been taking a wacky great chunk of space out for myself, to enable myself to really love myself, love everybody, and get out there. And I've just got a few things to tweak before I can really do that service thing. I'm doing it, but I need to just move just that little bit more, further forward with it, and expand a bit more.
Yeah, and move it from the sluggishness, which is,
yes, absolutely. That is the lazy streak. But I wouldn't say it's just about valuing my self-worth as well.
Yeah, and do you feel that right now?
Oh, absolutely, and I do feel a lot lighter. Thank you very much.
Pleasure. Well, that's exactly right. So you should feel that if you just tap into that area that you want to work in, regardless of the story that's been there before, you're just altered. You're just altered.
I got this. I did get the word on the crown. I kept getting the serpent as well. The serpent. I was changed. I changed from 2 different people. I walked in with the old Cleopatra, which I go into, and then I walked out as a different person again. But I do shift. I do change with that.
Yeah. So the shift that you're feeling, and the lightness as well of just feeling nobody can feel you.
Ready to go.
Yeah. Right. And no laziness. It's just it's time. It's what you need to do.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah. That's great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Does anyone else want to share? That's okay. You can do it again. I'm just seeing Ligia is saying you'll have to redo it. That's okay. It's here for you as a resource to experience. You can, some of you guys, it's early in the morning and all of that kind of thing. It's just there for you to tap in. And all this shifting has profound results and effects on people. A lot of the work that I'm doing more and more of is this way of, I do it with myself to honor my true path, if you like, and this is honoring your true path. Some of it is working with this new concept I was saying about working with your soul gold. So a lot of it is working on a frequency levels, shifting you, and it means that there is nothing dramatic that you need to do. There's been an alteration, and it means that you will get different, when things happen, opportunities happen now for you, you will just be present and do it, right? There will be no confusion or this aligns you on a frequency level. So Patty, you're saying the message was so big, you wouldn't necessarily get a to-do, by the way, Patty.
Hi.
Hey. You're saying the message was go. Tell me.
So here's my shyness again, but the message was, can you hear me okay? Because my mic is being funny. Okay.
I can hear you fine.
Oh, there you are. Okay. I'm going to say this only because I'm shy about saying it. So I'm going to say it. Oh, maybe it's supposed to be personal to us, or are we supposed to share it in the group as the circle?
Whatever you feel, and you step forward, so go for it.
Okay, so the scroll, when the scroll came, so the gift that came down the left side of the table, I don't have clarity on, so I'll do it again. And then, I don't know if anyone else has this experience, but the scroll that came to me when I opened it, and I saw the message. I do this when I turn my cards as well. I always want to return it. So it said, you have an undeniable ability to shine. And so at first I thought, oh, that's beautiful. And then I wanted to return it. So I think maybe just, and then there's the frustration of not having a to-do list. Like I always envy the person who has the instructions, like, here's what you do next,
Well, here's what you do next. You shine. Here's what you do next. Whenever you're feeling that you're dulling down, going fuzzy, what is it for you to shine?
Right.
That's all you need to do is shine. And that will be like an instruction. We've caused an alteration now. So it would be, for instance, there's an opportunity for you. Here's the opportunity. Now, you could say there's two answers to that: to not shine or to shine. It's symbolic that you're getting this, right? This is the symbolic version of you. There's a non-shining, and then there's a shining. Your instruction is to shine.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And a lot of the work that I do with this, you don't necessarily, you won't like see an object, you won't get it. I'm changing you on the frequency level. I'm helping you with that. So some are so deep, people snore all the way through it, and they're still getting it, right? Because we're altering you. You are listening. You are there at a very deep level. This work is happening. And so it's not like, oh, you've got your to-do list and you've got your
right.
list. It's not like that. That's it. We're altering you so that when an opportunity arises, you will not dull down. You'll just be there.
I see.
Authentic you coming through at a frequency level.
Can you say that again?
There will be authentic you.
Authentic me. Okay.
Coming through on a frequency level.
Okay.
We all know when we're not, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's that inner guidance that I wish I'd, X, Y, and Z. You see somebody and you didn't say the thing that you should have, kind of.
Yes.
You will now say the thing.
I did. I spoke up. Here I am.
There you go.
And in the journey, there were moments when I didn't know, wait, are we going up? Are we going down? Wait, what's happening next? And I remember thinking, oh, you know, guidance is guiding me. So wherever I am, whatever I'm doing is perfect. Like I'm exactly guided. So thank you.
Pleasure. Well, you'll experience the shifts, because as we are in spaces where we are allowed to be this authentic, there is just the courage to be who we are, like that. There's not many places that we experience that in the world, I would say, you know, but in this space, you can. You're welcome to be you here. That's the point. And
thank you.
Shine on, shine bright, shine, you know, what a great symbol for you to understand what you're working with, right? Sometimes we have no words for this. These things that we're dissolving and we're letting go of, we're shifting the frequency of. So it has to come in a way that just symbolically you can ask yourself, am I shining or am I not? Super easy for you to understand. Yeah?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you.
Pleasure. Anyone else want to say anything about their experience at all? Go for it, Christine. You want to say something more? Yeah.
You mute. Yes, I forgot a bit. I forgot the big chunk. I was given about the scroll and what I was given. I thought, oh, that just disappeared, but then it came back to me. I was given a rose, a red rose, and I was trying to work out the significance. I thought, well, no, don't work out the significance because it will come to me later. But the scroll, and there's another bit to this, but let me finish the scroll bit. The scroll was my usual, and I've been on a mission, and everyone says to me, has all said to me over the years, what are you after? What's your goal? What are you aiming to achieve? And I've always said to them, the Holy Grail. And that's always been my answer. And this scroll was speaking to me about the Holy Grail, and carry on that mission. I know what it means. It's deep in my heart. The old ancient wisdom and knowledge is there. And I just need to get the connection.
Great.
And then when we first went in to meet the council, and I don't know, we're talking about something, but I was given, it wasn't a flexible book. It was like a transparent book. It was like a crystal. I always say it was like a crystal with if you'd say you cut out the middle of the book, and there was all this magic, these like numbers and binary numbers and things coming out of it. But it was transparent, but it was shining. It was radiating out. Wow. So I have to look. That's the cosmic connection, beyond creation, etc., etc. But it was profound. So it was indicative for me to really look into that and perhaps do a meditation on it.
Yeah, and you can look up your symbols, literally. You know, you can Google them, you can look in various different books around symbolic knowledge of traditions that you prefer, you know, whether it be the East, the West, Native American, whatever your spiritual path is. Red rose is a very strong one, you know.
And again, because I come from Lancashire, that's significant as well. And also the Pendle Witches is a connection for me.
Yeah.
Not
So
quite sure.
you can now go on a journey and have a look at some of those symbols and go deeper with it.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, pleasure. So it's the tip of the iceberg. A lot of this one that I'm doing, you will experience in different ways afterwards. So it's not like it's done. And so you might have things that come back to you. You remember things. That was pretty profound what you remembered there. And all of it is adjusting, shifting, attuning you, if you like, on quite a deep vibrational level towards some healing for you to step into your authentic self. And I want to just say to you all that I will be continuing doing this for the 13 moons. So this is the second. We've got 11 to go. throughout the whole year to just keep you on this path of deep connection. It's a huge chunk of what I do in my life anyway. And to invite you as well to, if you want to go a little bit deeper with this kind of work, I am doing 2 different programs this year. One is called Awakening Your Soul Gold Within Earth, and that is in Glastonbury. So whenever we do the programs, they're 13-week programs. There's a reason for all the numerology. And then there's a retreat right in the middle of it. And we work on areas that are specific to you. So that one is in Glastonbury from the 1st to the 5th of August, over the August full moon. If you're in England, or if you want to come to England, you know, let me know about this. Just, even if you've never done any of this kind of work, or, you know, it's like unfamiliar, or you don't know enough about it, please just put the word earth. If that's something that is of interest to you, type it in, and we can get in touch with you and tell you what that looks like. And the other one is Awakening Your Soul Gold Within Water. And that one is in November in Bali, and it goes from the 11th to the 16th of November. So it's much later in the year. Both of these elements are very feminine, because I want to do the feminine this year because it's attuned to a very feminine cosmic year, if you like. And for all of you who are, you know, I do a lot of business coaching. But what I've noticed is that the thing that holds people back in like business is that they're not stepping into their authentic self. And so it's a very untraditional way of working with you in the outer planes of your work, or your, you know, stepping into the, say, public speaking. But it will have an impact on that. It will also have an impact on your personal lives. And if there's something that's much more personal that you're working on, it will also have an effect there. So it's a very deep kind of working, and I'm going to do 2 programs specifically this year for that. So if you have an interest in that, just put earth or water. And Renee, who's here, I think still, who's my beautiful assistant, it's her birthday tomorrow, in America, will be able to contact you and just give you more information about it as it happens. And the other thing I want to mention is I'm doing an event in LA, in Santa Monica, the 3rd and the 4th of April. And this one is very much about using your symbols, just the way we get these symbols. We can then use them actually in our lives, in our messaging, to make the symbolic, the secret of symbolic marketing. It works on so many levels that you can change the content, the message that you're sending out, even if you've got a very highly developed brand. So there's one aspect which is heading towards the branding, but it really is a weekend. It's not a weekend, it's a Friday and a Saturday, 2 days, and it's all about storytelling. So if you have any interest in that kind of thing, let us know. We'll be able to set you up with a ticket hotline with friends, and some deals on that as well. And as far as I know, it's going to be in a place that's surrounded by crystals, like incredible, incredible, massive museum piece crystals. So I am super excited about all the work that's going on this year. And yeah, we're here for you. The moon manifestations is to keep you completely on track throughout your year. So you've got a space where you can really bring this authentic self to the world, really. You know, it's not like you have to think, oh, I've got to do a strategy or I've got to do whatever. We just tweak your frequency so that then the opportunities arise and then you actually step into them, right? So does anybody else want to say anything at all as we just, yeah, happy birthday, Renee. I know. She's all of 22, you know. She's a very, very highly evolved young being. And so I hope you have a beautiful day tomorrow. I hope you're doing something really special for you, Renee.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, what are you doing tomorrow for your...
I don't exactly have a plan, but I think I'm just going to go into Seattle and see where that leads. Just have a day to myself and,
Oh, great.
yeah, for the whole day. Yeah.
A wandering day. Yeah, well, that sounds perfect.
Yeah, and thank you for everyone. Thank you for all the birthday wishes. I appreciate it.
And did you have anything that you want to share about what you got? Birthday
Yeah,
girl.
absolutely. So I'm going to be honest, my stomach has not been feeling the best during this, so I've been in and out, which is why I'm not on video. But I was able to get mostly the council, the higher council, and the crown. I'm still kind of buzzing. I'm still kind of buzzing from that. So I think I also want to do it again so I could get a little more clarity, just because I was coming in and out. But the feeling and the vibration that I felt afterwards and during what I got was awesome.
Great. Well, it will just keep working. And you can, of course, rewatch, because there is a phase that we go through all the way. Each moon has its own energy, obviously. There's 3 days, which are super powerful with each moon. But you can, as an independent, just within the moon's phase, just go into it and just experience it. They're set up to cause massive transformation for you, so use it as a resource.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And this is a way that I do a lot of healing. So some of my background is very much to do physical healing on people, and I've done a lot of that. And they're like, oh my God, where did we go? And what was all of this stuff? They don't have to know what it's all about, but it's an alignment of finding the energies that you really need to bring yourself back to perfect balance. And this one is all about stepping up, right? Into what you really need to step up into, and permission to do so, right? So the next one will be very different. Each one is, but you can use them like a resource, like a library. And I'm just looking down here, and thank you for the thank yous. Thank you for the happy birthdays to beautiful Renee. Love and blessings to everybody else. Some people have put Earth. I'm going to mention a little bit about Earth before you disappear. I've worked for 30 years in Glastonbury. There's a reason why it is the heart chakra of the world. There are different places that are considered different chakra alignments, and England itself is considered to be the heart chakra, but Glastonbury is the heart chakra of the heart chakra. So it's like we're going heart into heart. The heart chakra is always represented by green, and so it's very much an earth quality experience. And it's in a landscape of sacred sites, and the mythology of Britain at its best. That area is Guinevere and Arthur, the Arthurian legend. So it's, the kingdom of the mythology. So we've got, Merlin, and we've got Morgan Le Fay, and we've got all the healers that were there. It's also the earliest point of very early Christianity, like mystical Christianity that was there. There's a lot of ancient mythology that says that Yeshua actually traveled there with his uncle, who was Joseph of Arimathea. And there's a tree that was planted, which is a thorn bush, which is part of that too. So it covers so many different kind of mythologies that are going on there. It's over the full moon. The August full moon is always, always magical in Britain. It's one of the places, like, if I could be anywhere, and I am going to be there. So just saying. And it's a full moon. It's also over the Lammas ceremony, which is the ritual of the harvest. So everything is to do with earth, and it's how you can shift the earth element in your life. So we can tell you more about it, but there's a few people saying earth. So that's the energetic of it. It's literally changing your experience of earth itself. And earth must manifest. That's its nature. It cannot be an airy fairy little, woo 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 out there. Earth has to, you got to see it, smell it, taste it, love it, all of that. So it's that kind of energy. And the water one, much further along in the year, is deeply spiritual, deeply connected in with the feminine. It's quite tantric. It can heal trauma. Sexuality is a big part of it, the feminine experience. So I can keep telling you more each time, but that's a little hint. And for the rest of you, I just want to send you so much love at this time. Have a look at the moon tonight. Experience the moon if you can see it. We've got a big storm coming in England, so it'd be dramatic. I quite like storms, big drama storms. That's a bit like Leo. And I'll send you loads of love until the next time, which is 1 month from now. So enjoy that moon transition of stepping into your power and feeling like the courage, this silent courage, just to be yourself and know that you've got an audience here who love you. And I'll bid you adieu. And for the earth people, Renee will get in touch. Okay, so I will say goodbye and wish you so much love and namaste and see you later.